out in Hermosillo, Mexico, Saturday night on Azteca America on free television. I'm talking about free. If you put up an antenna on your roof, most major cities in the United States get Azteca America on their regular antenna. They put together a 3-hour boxing show headlined by Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., a big draw, a big pay-per-view guy from those Latin Fury cards, and he took on Matt Vanda. And the split decision at the end of that fight for Chavez Jr. was completely scandalous.
You know what? I didn't even see that fight because I don't even know if I have TV Azteca. I got HBO and Showtime, but, you know, sometimes it's a little bit too difficult and I'm too lazy to go ahead and search around for a channel, so I missed it. But from all accounts, I heard it was very controversial. I heard they were, even in Mexico, they were, you know, throwing beer in the ring and throwing shit at Chavez Jr. and Chavez Sr., so I guess that pretty much tells the whole story.
Yeah, it was miserable, man. Chavez Jr. came out and he thought maybe Matt Vanda was just going to go away after 5 rounds. And really, like him or not, Matt Vanda's a solid professional. Probably the toughest opponent Chavez Jr. has faced, especially in that junior middleweight division. And after 5 rounds, Chavez Jr. was gassed out. He was dropping his left hand down to his hip. He was moving his mouthpiece into the front of his mouth to suck up air. I mean, his punches weren't hurting Vanda to fade him away. Towards the end of the fight, Vanda really started taking control of that fight. And at the end, it was like who was going to stay up because they were both exhausted. And, you know, one judge had it for Vanda, one judge had it for Chavez Jr., and one judge from Mexico had it 90 to 100 for Chavez Jr. And that was just one of the most miserable scorecards, one of the most miserable decisions that I've ever seen, to the point that a Mexican crowd in Mexico was throwing water and cups into the ring at Chavez Jr.
Yeah, I mean, 100 to 90. I just feel, you know, you feel bad for Matt Vanda because he knew what he was getting himself into, but to go ahead and do something like that, 100 to 9, I don't know what can be taken, what kind of actions can be done to go ahead and bring this to justice. I doubt, you know, if anything, but it's just a very unfortunate thing to see. And hopefully we'll see Matt Vanda back on ESPN. They should have the rematch on ESPN, man.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. A lot of people feel bad for Matt Vanda. I don't, because there is karma in this world. What you do comes back to you. That's and you're true. A guy that remembers that fight he had with Sam. Was it Sam Garr?
Sam Garr, yeah. That was a huge robbery.
Yeah, he had a fight maybe 4 years ago in his hometown of Minnesota where he dropped Sam Garr. So now the table is turned. And now Vanda's getting jobbed by Chavez Jr. I tell you what, if I was Bob Arum, and maybe we'll ask him this if we can get him on the phone right now, I'll tell him, why don't you push for that fight with De La Hoya? That will be the circus of all circus. Chavez Jr. versus De La Hoya, with Chavez Sr. hanging around talking this craziness. That will be a complete circus. And I think if you marketed that thing correctly, you could probably do better numbers than Mayweather versus De La Hoya.
You could, I guess you're counting on the fact that people in this world aren't very smart because Junior hasn't shown anything. If you can't beat Matt Vanda, if you're having troubles with, you know, second and third tier guys, there's no way you can beat De La Hoya. But hey, man, Arum's a great salesman. Golden Boy, you know, I guess they're not bad at selling as well. So, hey, that fight makes sense financially, I suppose.
I'm just starting to think like a promoter because these guys lie to you. They give you fights that aren't worth much. Let's face it, anything De La Hoya does in his next fight isn't going to be a true competitive affair. What's he going to do, fight Tito Trinidad? Wow, I really want to see that fight 6 years after the fact. Come on, man. We're going to go to a quick break. This is Boxing Confidential Radio, a service of BoxingConfidential.com. And on the flip side, hopefully we'll have Bob Arum. If not, we'll just say a whole bunch of nasty things about him.
I stand for what them thugs is repping, but they don't know the government is using drugs as weapons and drug injections. Was taught by the prophets before about the cavalry and shadowy prophets of war. It's all the grip, so I spit it at different degrees. But the inner earth holds more.